celebrate the Redwood authors and their published books, and to introduce Joe Lauer. Joe has had several articles and essays published in a variety of journals and anthologies, and she's published 2 novellas. Today we celebrate Joe in her newly published book, Best Laid Plans. It's a cozy mystery that's engaging without being gory. The cast of characters revolves around a group of female ex-felons who meet in a newly established recovery house. Despite their individual challenges, which are multiplied by a plot that continues to escalate, the residents develop self-trust, courage, and integrity while they learn to respect and support each other. When I finished Best Laid Plans, I asked Jo when to expect the sequel, but she couldn't tell me because, I quote, "That's in the hands of my muse." Now, don't tell Jo, but I've been looking for her muse, and I won't take no for an answer. And I promise you'll understand why once you've read the book. Please help me welcome our very own Redwood writer, Joe Lauer.
Thank you, Jan. So, Best Laid Plans is a cozy mystery. It's also it's also a book about relationship. Can you hear me? Yeah. Out there. There we go. Chapter 7. Snake charmer eyes. That's what Shalise decided Jenny had. She felt like she could be twisted into a pretzel by those ocean green eyes, talked into throwing herself off a high building, cajoled into crossing the freeway blindfolded, or even more horrific, convinced to hand over financial control of her dream to Florence, a total stranger. There was something she didn't trust about Florence. One disc off the plow makes the whole road crooked, Granny used to say. She supposed she couldn't continue to use her concern about Florence as an excuse to see Jenny. She was pretty sure Jenny was straight, even though Lawrence seemed to be the end of some sort of personal era in Jenny's life. Was she misreading the clues, the glances through the eyelashes, the unabashed honesty and no-nonsense way of expressing herself, the subtle touches in passing? Maybe Shalise's gaydar needed a tune-up, but she didn't sense Jenny pulling back when Shalise so obviously fell all over herself whenever they were together. Let it go, she mumbled as she lost herself in her work. A week later, Shalise sat at her desk watching the sun go down on the horizon in between apartment houses. She'd been rifling through her files on model recovery house programs and making notes for the last hour without a break. She rubbed her temples, contemplated wrapping up for the night when the phone rang. "The first step," she answered. "Isn't that a little premature?" Jenny said, "considering you don't yet have funding?" "Just practicing," Shalise said. "What's up?" Hearing Jenny's voice, she felt a smile spread across her face. "Do you like jazz?" Jenny asked without formality. Shalise chuckled. "Are you asking me out on a date?" she said, barely able to suppress the hopefulness in her voice. Immediately she censored herself. Too presumptuous. It was just a question. Now she would really blown it. "A date? No, I just wondered if you like jazz." Jenny sounded slightly offended. "Why would you want to know if I like jazz?" Shalise felt confusion rolling through her mind like a swirl of dust and leaves in autumn. "And why can't I just say yes?" she admonished herself. "Well, I have this great jazz collection and too much spaghetti." "Do you like spaghetti?" Jenny countered. Okay, now she was intrigued and a little amused. "Yes, I like jazz and I like spaghetti. Is this leading somewhere, or do you just randomly call people and ask them odd questions?" Shalise said. She heard Jenny giggle. Would you like to have dinner with me and listen to some jazz? Jenny asked. Aha, Shalise teased. It is a date, not a date. I find that I don't have as many friends as I used to before I became a murderer, that is. And I'm lonely. You don't seem to mind my felon status, and you don't look like you're on a diet. So how about it? I said. Not on a diet. Is that a slam of some sort? Shalise asked. No, I mean that in a good way. Like you're healthy looking. Her voice trailed off. Listen, if you're busy or something, when? Shalise interrupted, fearful that Jenny would slip away if she pushed her too far. Really, I'd love to come for spaghetti and listen to jazz. When? Now? Jenny suggested. I mean, the spaghetti is done. She gave Shalise her address. On my way, Shalise said, grinning broader than she had in a very long time. She grabbed a bottle of grabbed a bottle of Chianti, her jacket, and was out the door in a minute. Jenny's one-bedroom apartment was in the Marina District overlooking the ocean. It was a mild evening, and a crescent of moon could be seen high in the sky in place of the usual marine layer. Shalise pressed the doorbell and heard a faint chime. Jenny opened the door, dressed in cutoffs, a ragged sweatshirt, hair tucked behind her ears, and barefooted. She stood looking at Shalise. You did mean now, as in now, right? Shalise grinned. Oh, sorry, Jenny said, and stood aside so Shalise could enter. It's just that you look really good. I mean, dressed up. This isn't a date, you know? She reiterated.